Center of the track, here's Eastbound picking it up very stylishly, and Eastbound hand-ridden right up to Baltazar, who has the lead. Baltazar, Eastbound on the outside, and Baltazar, Eastbound with the best kick late to win it with something left. Baltazar was second. Quality wins in the Showbiz Joy. They're in the gate. And they're off. Little brother Joey gets the first call, headed immediately by Midnight Lightning, who sprints away. And Midnight Lightning suddenly 3 in front. Little brother Joey second, a length and a half to Strut on Louie in third. Down at the rail, it's Let Him Do, and followed by Top of My Game. Midnight Lightning blazes past the half-mile pole with a 2.5 length lead. Little brother Joey is in second. Strut on Louie moving up willingly, 3 wide in third, followed by Let Him Do and Top of My Game. 3/8 to go, Midnight Lightning to catch. Maintains a 2-length edge. Little brother Joey is in second, Strut on Louie outside of him, then Let Him Do, 5 off the pace. Top of My Game at the back, they're a 1/4 mile from home. And it's Midnight Lightning, a length and a half. Little brother Joey called on, as is Strut on Louie on the outside. They're coming to the 8th pole. Midnight Lightning digging in gamely, trying to fend off Strut on Louie, who's getting to him now. Strut on Louie up alongside and goes on by. Strut on Louie finishes it up and pulls away late. Strut on Louie and Tiago Pereira by 2. Midnight Lightning a solid second. Photo for third, Top of My Game, and Little brother Joey. They're in the gate. And they're off. Quarry Thunder stumbled pretty badly. Summer Daisy is sprinting out and ensuring a quick early tempo along with Crimson Rose, who's a little faster. And so Crimson Rose will set the pace. Summer Daisy backs off wisely. And then it's another 2.5 more to Bali Dancer inside of Dendera. Finishing fifth at this stage is Quarry Thunder, guided over to the inside. The 2 trailers are Jibber Jabber and Control Function at the back of the field. Crimson Rose loose early on, has it by 2. Summer Daisy is in second. Bali Dancer and Dendera side by side. Dendera, a little eager on the outside, takes third. Then comes Quarry Thunder between rivals, inside of Control Function, and another length and a half to Jibber Jabber. Just 5 lengths front to back. It's Crimson Rose to the half-mile pole over Summer Daisy, who is now trying to make a move after that front runner. Just behind them, Bali Dancer, Dendera between, 3 wide Control Function. Quarry Thunder is 5 lengths off the lead, losing ground understandably, and Jibber Jabber on the outside. It is Crimson Rose coming to the 1/4 pole, maintaining a slender lead. Control Function makes a nice move on the outside, 3 wide. And here's Jibber Jabber. Will have to go widest of all, 4 wide, but within 2 of the leader at the top of the stretch. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Crimson Rose. Jibber Jabber takes up the chase into second. Crimson Rose hanging on a length. Jibber Jabber within 3/4. Crimson Rose, Jibber Jabber, Crimson Rose or Jibber Jabber. Crimson Rose not surrendering. Crimson Rose holds on. Jibber Jabber just missed. Quarry Thunder, a valiant effort third. Then it was Control Function and Dendera. And they're off. Royal Halo in the center is quickest, joined immediately by 40G, who's a neck back second, and Blue Cheese Olive on the outside. Carol's Comet is next, followed by Bailey's Budget, who hesitated at the start and now moves right into contention at the rail, a close fourth. Absolutely nothing early from Whiskey Vision at the back. Into the far turn. And the lead belongs to Royal Halo, 3 parts of a length to 40G in second. Blue Cheese Olive on the outside of them, third, and Bailey's Budget fourth, 3 lengths off the lead. Carol's Comic is next, and a distance to Whiskey Vision with a quarter of a mile to go. Royal Halo tackled by Blue Cheese Olive on the outside. It is still Royal Halo at the top of the stretch. Carol's Comic is now coming with a menacing bid in the center. At the rail, Bailey's Budget, they're in the final furlong. Royal Halo drifting out while maintaining the lead. Carol's Comic moves into second on the outside of Blue Cheese Olive, who fights on, dives down to the rail for a final try, but Royal Halo was too strong. Royal Halo all the way under Edwin Maldonado. Blue Cheese Olive was a solid second, Carol's Comic third, just in front of Bailey's Budget, and Whiskey Vision, who was nowhere early, got close to fourth. They're in the gate, and they're off. Fast start for Princess Midnight. Miss Polo Bar has speed too. And Conceal and Carry, those three vie for the lead. Midnight Silence is fourth in the early game, about 4 lengths off the pacemakers. Thunder Run in the white and blue, and a length back to Whirly Gurley. Half mile to go. Miss Polo Bar, Princess Midnight, stride for stride. Conceal and Carry right off them, a length back, 3 wide third. Then Midnight Silence, a Thunder Run with 4 to make up, 2 clear of Whirly Gurley. Miss Polo Bar and Princess Midnight have been going at it throughout. Princess Midnight on the outside, just in front. Miss Polo Bar keeping pace second. It's now 2 back to Conceal and Carry third. Thunder Run rallying while wide at the rail. Midnight Silence, they're at the top of the stretch. Princess Midnight, tenuous lead of a half length. On the outside, Thunder Run continues to make solid headway. Whirly Gurley trying to get a piece of it. Miss Polo Bar at the rail. Thunder Run on the outside takes the lead close to home, and it's going to be Thunder Run to win it by a length. Photo between Princess Midnight and an oncoming Whirly Gurley, then Miss Polo Bar. And they're off. Very even start. California Gigi and Chevere Arbiter going out to battle. Sangre Azul is also prominent and goes right after the top pair. Tizzy Twister comes away fourth, sailing along a wide fifth, and Semi-Sweet at the back of the field. It's Chevere Arbiter leading the way. Has it by about a length over Sangre Azul in second. Then Tizzy Twister down at the rail, third, 2.5 off the leader. And California Gigi is just outside of her, taking the third spot. Semi-Sweet sailing along. Heading to the 5/8 pole, and it's Chevere Arbiter leading the way, a length and a half under Diego Herrera. Sangre Azul in the clear, tracking from second. And then it's Tizzy Twister third while in hand. California Gigi is fourth, 3.5 off the leader, followed by sailing along outside Semi-Sweet. Chevere Arbiter takes them into the far turn, has expanded the lead out to 3. Sangre Azul, a clear-cut second with 3 furlongs to run. California Gigi third, Tizzy Twister fourth. Now Sangre Azul cutting into the margin of Chevere Arbiter. They're coming to the quarter pole. Chevere Arbiter confronted by Sangre Azul, looming up to be on even terms at the top of the stretch. Xavier Arbiter not done yet. Has the lead by a head. Sangre Azul right to her. Two more. Tizzy Twister still very much in it and finding her best stride now. Here's Tizzy Twister after the embattled leaders. Tizzy Twister on the outside. Sangre Azul at the rail. Tizzy Twister with the momentum. 3 for Steve Knapp and Tiago Pereira. Tizzy Twister draws off late. Sangre Azul second, Xavier Arbiter third, then a battle between Sailing Along and California Gigi. This coming Monday, day after tomorrow, free admission, free parking, free program, and a free digital DRF past performance on our SantaAnita.com website. They're in the gate. And they're off. Old Pal with a better break today. It's Johnny Paycheck going out for the early lead. Alongside is Silent Heat flashing good speed, and JD's Rude Boy makes it 3 across the course early. Be Punctual and My Ransomer next. Old Pal settles toward the back of the field. Down at the rail, Country Boy is next, 5 lengths off the lead. Chrome to Riches at the back. Rounding the first turn, and it's Johnny Paycheck leading the way. Has it by 3/4 of a length under a tight hold. Silent Heat is in second, a length and a half. JD's Rude Boy third, followed by Be Punctual, racing on the inside of My Ransom. The favorite Old Pal, yellow blinkers, about 6 off the pace. Inside of him, Country Boy, and no early speed from Chrome to Riches. It's Johnny Paycheck past the half-mile pole. Silent Heat about a neck back second. JD's Rude Boy keeps the pressure on third. Be Punctual, My Ransom. These 5 have been 1 through 5 the whole way. Another 3 lengths back, Country Boy and Old Pal are right together. Old Pal gets his cue now, and 2 more to Chrome to Riches. Johnny Paycheck sneaks away from the top flight and has a 3-length lead with 1/4 mile to go. Old Pal starts to march up 4 wide. He has to catch Johnny Paycheck at the top of the stretch. Be Punctual is currently second. There's an 1/8 to go. Old Pal with those big strides and plenty of time coming to Johnny Paycheck. And Old Pal will graduate as he should have last time. Old Pal cruises home to win it by 3.5 widening lengths. Much promise for him. Johnny Paycheck, Be Punctual. And then it was between an oncoming Chrome to Riches and My Ransom. They're in the gate. And they're off. And Dance to the Music is very quick, joined immediately by Violent Runner along the rail. 12:30 is third. Stella Noir at the back of a compact group. Violent Runner makes it to the front past the 5/8 pole. Dance to the Music just a head back second. 2 more 12:30. And then Stella Noir. 3 lengths covers them past the half-mile pole. Violent Runner is the leader narrowly. Dance to the Music worked upon to keep pace. These 2 come to the 3/8 pole right together as one. A length and a half back, Stella Noir takes third on the outside of 12:30. Dance to the Music and Violent Runner continue to go at it. They're 2.5 in front of Stella Noir with 1/4 mile to go. Dance to the Music on the outside. Violent Runner at the rail. 3/16 of a mile to go. Dance to the Music just in front. Violent Runner is trying her best, but Dance to the Music has the lead at the 16th pole. Now puts a neck on her. Now it's a half, and now it's a length as Dance to the Music proves best in the Desert Stormer. Violent Runner clearly second best. Stella Noir was third. Oh. They're in the gate. And they're off. Lamplighter Jack broke a bit inward, but did break quickly and sprints clear over Dominant Soul and Lovesick Blues third in the early going. Then Kennebec, Ouija, Shotgun Express is next. Big Buzz toward the back of the field, but there are a couple behind him, Overdue. And at the back of the field is Moody Jim. Rounding the first turn, and Lamplighter Jack gets the easiest of leads, has it by 3. Dominant Soul is second by the same margin, and then Lovesick Blues third. A gap of 4 behind him to Kennebec inside of Ouija as they string out onto the backstretch. Shotgun Express, Big Buzz, Moody Jim out of last, leaving Overdue at the back of the field. They're covered by about 14 lengths heading to the half-mile pole. Juan Hernandez, looking for 3 in a row, has a 4-length lead aboard Lamplighter Jack. Dominant Soul in second. Then Lovesick Blues racing in third, followed by Ouija outside Kennebec. Big Buzz making a move outside of that pair. Another couple of lengths back to Shotgun Express, Moody Jim, and Overdue continues to trail. They have a quarter of a mile to run. Lamplighter Jack remains the target. Lovesick Blues inches up on the outside. Ouija is further out. Dominant Soul inside of them. Down on the inside, Kennebec in 8th to go. Lamplighter Jack, Lovesick Blues clearly into second within 2 lengths of Lamplighter Jack, who just keeps on going. And Lamplighter Jack gives Juan Hernandez a broom of the late pick 3, jogging. Lovesick Blues second. Tight photograph between Ouija and Kennebec. And then it was Overdue from last into 5th.
Between us, my seminar guest and myself today probably have about 8 decades of handicapping experience. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to pick any winners, but it means we've looked at the racing form once or twice in our life. Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Quigley, VIP player concierge. And believe it or not, there's another VIP person who works at Sandy. He's the VIP host. I take care of high-end horse players and low-end celebrities. He's the exact opposite. He takes care of high-end celebrities and low-end horse players. His name, Jeff Chapman. Jeff, welcome to the seminar. Happy Sunday.
Great to be here. Yeah, it's a great gig you and I both have. Hopefully some of my players won't take offense that we just called them the low-end horse players.
Well, they're friends of ours, so I don't think they will. And certainly the high-end players that hang out in Eddie Logan, not all of them are high-end necessarily as well. Sometimes they drift in there, and I have to kind of shoo them out of there. But first things first, Jeff, before we talk about horses, we've got like 38 minutes to talk about horses. You're probably the #1 Cubs fan that I know of in the world. And, of course, the baseball season, optimism shines bright for everybody. Now, being a betting man in Las Vegas, Nevada, the over-under for the number of wins for the Chicago Cubs this season is 72.5 wins. Now, take away your optimism for a minute. Are they going to go over that total of 72.5 or under so we can make some money?
If I was a gambling man.
Well, you are.
Which I am. I would probably bet the under.
And why is that?
They haven't spent any money. Most of the Cubs prospects, there's a lot of kids on the team. We know a few years ago they gave away all the big time players, the Baez, the Bryants, the Rizzos. What they got in return was a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds. So the farm system is pretty stacked, but at a very low level. Some of those guys work out, as we know, some don't. But they didn't really get the major league ready players.
What about pitching?
Stroman is our opening day starter. So he's basically like a number 3. So we got a lot of number 3s and 4s. They should be decent. I'm not looking forward to a winning season. I'm just looking forward to baseball.
Now, I grew up in Chicago, and I've been to some opening days at Wrigley Field. One opening day was actually snowing. Have you ever been to any opening days, and was it as cold as Alaska for any of the ones you attended it?
Many times. I've been in the bleachers where it was so cold, and you know me, I left early and went to a bar to watch the rest of the game.
It's not that far away. It's right across the street.
Yeah, there's 100 of them within 20 feet of Wrigley Field, so it wasn't that hard of a walk. But yeah, you know how Chicago is. People in LA are kind of getting that, just a small version of it right now. But in Chicago, it can be 71 one day and 36 and snowing the next day.
It's like the old saying, if you don't like the weather in Chicago, just stick around another 30 minutes. It's bound to change. And you talked about the weather, Jeff. It's interesting you would bring that up. Here in Arcadia, California, we've received 33 inches of rain so far since opening day, which was back on December 26th. By comparison, Seattle, Washington, which is known for its rainy season, has a grand total of 7. So we've gotten a lot of rain. And of course, it's impacted the training and, of course, some of the race schedule as well. We will race tomorrow, Monday, as a makeup day because we had to cancel this past Friday. We'll talk about that later. But let's talk about some of the high-end celebrities that you entertain at the racetrack. You obviously are the point person for a lot of the Hollywood people, a lot of the sports athletes. A lot of them have never been to Santa Anita before. Since you interact with them so much, what is it about Santa Anita that they like? Do they like the races themselves? Do they like the majestic beauty of the track? Do they like the prominent suites that we have right on the finish line? Like, what is it about Santa Anita that keeps bringing them back?
You know, I would think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of them are movie stars, and most of them have not been to a racetrack before. And we know, well, you don't watch movies, so you don't know anything, but the rest of us in the world know.
Last movie I watched was Airplane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hasn't been out here, so don't worry about it. But most of the movie stars have this picture in their head where it's a bunch of seedy old guys throwing tickets on the ground.
Yeah, with holes in their shoes.
Right.
And tattered sport jackets.
Correct. So when they come, including a group that's coming today, they have no idea. And when they come in, they see the chandelier room. They see the Eddie Logan. We take them into the speakeasy.
The walking ring.
The walking ring. And the mountains. They can't believe the suites to watch. We usually put them in a suite. They can't believe what they're seeing. And it's so much different than what they expected that the beauty of it all, and they really get into it. And that's why a lot of them come back. And some of them are coming back again today.
Now, we're not going to mention any names, but of course, they're kind of A-listers and B-listers, and they're prominent business owners as well. But they rely on you for the handicapping. Now, it's always a challenge introducing new people to handicapping because there's a lot of acronyms that we use: furlongs, win, play, show. They don't know what's going on. How do you kind of slowly indoctrinate them into the game?
Well, I basically tell them that I do a lot of work. I try to keep it in terms as they would. I'm like, you know how you study a script and memorize your lines? Well, that's what I do in horse racing terms. I watch a lot of replays. This is what I do. So I like this horse, let's bet it. And some have no interest at all, but most of them actually get into it quite a bit. Obviously, if you win, they love you even more.
Yeah, they treat it like the Kentucky Derby, right? They treat it like a marquee race, even though it might only be a $25,000 claimer.
Absolutely. They don't know the difference. A winner is a winner, whether it's a maiden 20 or a grade 1. If you give them a winner, and the funniest thing is, I like to bet prices, but if you give them a 6-5 and it wins, they think you're a genius. So, I try to keep it pretty simple. And like today, since they came back again, I'm going to try to get this group to maybe do maybe a group pick 5, just to evolve a little bit, that we all pitch in together. I put my money in with them, and that way they can enjoy it along the way.
And they like the anonymity as well, right? They can come out here, kind of be shielded away in the suite area, but they're going to make a winner's circle presentation today, so it's not like they're not going to be known to the general public. Again, we won't disclose their identities, but for the feature race today, which we'll get to a little bit later, they'll be in the winner's circle making the presentation. You talked about doing the work, Chappie, and you certainly do the work for a lot of the seminars that Sanita produces that are produced online, and you kind of do what I do, except you do it remotely. You're bringing a lot of your guests either on YouTube or the Sanita website itself.
Yeah.
What's your motivation? I know what my motivation is hosting these seminars. When you're hosting these seminars, are you trying to give the people that are viewing those seminars necessarily winners, or are you trying to teach them maybe how to find those winners on their own in subsequent races? Does that make sense?
Yeah, a little of both, because obviously people tune in, and I do the radio show as well. Some people just want winners, but more on the seminars, like you do with the seminar part, we try to teach how we get to a winner.
Exactly.
What we look at.
What you saw that maybe they don't see in the racing form when you're watching the replays.
Correct. And I'm gonna step on a subject that I always do. I probably shouldn't bring it up, but
you got 2 minutes. Fire away.
One of my pet peeves is the bullet workout.
Okay,
and
tell us why.
People blindly will say a horse is worked best of 47 because it has a bullet work. And unless you actually saw it visually.
And you can, courtesy of our friends at xbtv.com.
Correct. And I try to watch every single work I can on XBTV. But that's not always the case. I try to simplify it down to somebody who doesn't know racing. I'm like, let's take a Usain Bolt running 100 yards. And if he's jogging backwards and I'm running full speed, and forwards. I run faster than him time-wise, knowing no one's watching it. Well, they're going to say I was the best. No. If he wanted to, he could have ran a lot faster. And that's where intentions of trainers come in, the way they work them. And it's all how they work it, not just the time. So I think I don't know why that drives me crazy, but it's especially to beginners, because they take you for what you say as preaching as word, right? So if they see a bullet work on the page, they automatically think that was the best, and that's not necessarily the case.
Legendary trainer Charlie Whittingham once said, "Time only matters if you're in jail." We'll see if that's true on today's 9-race card. You can already tell that Jeff Chapman's done the work. We're going to find out who he likes on today's 9-race card. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes. They're minimal on today's Sunday's card at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast and the turf course is firm, with the rail on the turf at 0 feet. Here are the early changes. The first race is the start of the 50-cent early pick 5, number 7, Don Corleone, 2 pounds over. Race 2, the start of the early pick 4, has no program changes. There are no changes in the third. In the fourth race, we start the Rainbow 6, $225,000 in the carryover for the jackpot payoff. Race 5, number 3, Yvette's Surprise, 2 over. 4, Ashley's Sandcastle, 3 pounds overweight. Late pick 5 starts with the 5th. In the 6th, kicking off the late pick 4, we have no changes. In the 7th, the Angel's Flight, scratch number 5, Pleasant Wave. Race 7, take out the 5. The 8th begins the golden hour pick 4. No changes. In the 9th, scratch number 3, Horning. Note that number 13, Don't Test Your Luck, make the jockey Kazushi Kimura. Kazushi Kimura rides number 13, draws into the race. Overweights, number 7, Deep River +2, 9, Anticipated is 3 pounds over. Those are the early changes on today's card. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. We do have the Coast to Coast Pick 5, as always, offered on Saturdays and Sundays here. Great wagering opportunity. We've seen some extraordinary payouts. It's a low 15% takeout. And today's sequence kicks off with Gulfstream Park's 8th race at 1:07 p.m. A reminder, too, the Golden Pick 6 has a mandatory payout at Golden Gate Fields today. That should be a huge pool in there. Golden Pick 6 jackpot at Golden Gate Fields. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. We are 57 minutes away from the opener. Let's go back to Tom Quigley's seminar at Quigley's Corner. His special guest today is Jeff Chapman, Santa Anita VIP host.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Jeff Chapman. He's the VIP host here at Santa Anita. He's going to be entertaining a number of celebrities today. That's basically his job on a daily basis. But he also is a handicapper that has the time and the luxury to handicap the races on a daily basis as well. You can find his work on a lot of the seminars that preview either Pick 6 payouts, Coast to Coast Pick 5s. All you have to do is either be on Twitter or follow him at the sanita.com website, and you'll see his work. But he's our guest now for the next 26 minutes. So, Jeff, let's take a look at today's 9-race card. Kicking things off in race number 1, where we're sprinting on the turf course, 6 furlongs of the distance. The rails are at 0 feet. This is a maiden special weight race. Also, race 1 begins the 50-cent early pick 5. We've got a field of 8. The original morning line favorite was number 7, Don Corleone, the expensive son of More Than Ready. But the current betting choice on the tote board is number 8, Van Cougar from the Jeff Mullins barn, morning line of 8-1, now down to 9-5. I know you like this horse. You haven't even given out this horse yet to drive those odds down. It's likely to go lower after you babble about it.
Yeah, I think this must have been given out on Twitter or something, because everybody's all over my pick already. But no, I
What
joke.
about some radio shows? I know you host a radio show, but there's other radio shows here on Sunday. Maybe John Ardoon or somebody gave it
Oh,
out.
that could be. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Thoroughbred Los Angeles.
It's possible.
Somebody gave that out, I think. It's been leaked on the internet.
What is it that other handicappers see that you see?
Hey, I'll tell you what, it's not the easiest race in the world. Vancouver last time out came off of a long layoff, showed some speed and faded, and I think needed that race. I like the fact that he is drawn outside. Yeah, last time on March 18th, he worked a bullet. No, he did, actually. I'm joking. But he worked a bullet. But it's the way he worked. He worked very well. And I think maybe last time, being so fresh, he was on the lead. This time, maybe drawn outside, he can sit just off of the pace. And I just think the setup is going to be nice for this horse. I did like the price as well at 6-1. I certainly didn't expect 9-5 right now. But I do think this is a pretty tough race to start out the sequence, but I give this horse a big look.
You also like number 3, Acquired Class. Peter Miller runs 2 in here. This is his other runner. First time gelding, first time Lasix. We haven't seen Acquired Class since May of 2022. What is it that you like about this son of Cairo Prince?
So this is one of those ones where you're kind of taking an educated guess by who's in the race. You cannot get any of the works on XBTV when a Peter Miller horse runs because they all work at San Luis Rey. That being said, this horse debuted way back in May of 2022, went off at 5-2, excuse me. Gelded since first time Lasix. I find it interesting that Juan Hernandez, who rode Single Track Mine the last time, jumps over to this horse for Peter Miller. Slam Dunk Racing, they always throw out a lot of good winners. Nick has a good eye, that crew. So I just have the feeling in this type of a field that this horse is live. There isn't much more to go on than that, than being bet first time out and Hernandez jumping on here.
8-3 in race number 1. So says our seminar guest, Jeff Chapman. It's interesting Vancouver's taking action because Vancouver in that comeback race that Jeff mentioned back on February 20th, he was 12-1 that particular day on the Moraine Lane. He got bet down to 6-1 after opening up at 9-2. So certainly the inside connection seemed to think Vancouver has some talent. Maybe he'll show it today. Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This race is on the main track. 6.5 furlongs is the distance. $16,000 is the claiming tag. We've got a field of 6. Number 1, Strike That, who's taking a humongous drop in class, is the 8-5 morning line favorite. This is the first of 4 morning line favorites today for the John Sadler barn. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the favorite here, Jeff?
Well, these ones, I'm sure you're going to agree with me. You have no idea, right? I mean,
they don't give anything away at the racetrack.
They do not. And this horse could win by 8 or run up the track. Just by the way it's been working on XBTV, it's funny, you look back, the last race this horse ran in was the Kona Gold won by Brickyard Ride, and now it's in a 16-dime claimer. But I think this horse most likely is going to be long gone. Either takes the lead, maybe sits off the 2 early. Sadler puts him in the right spots, and I think it lays over this field. It's hard to take. What are you going to get, 3-5 on this horse? But I can't try to beat it for show purposes, so I think it's the most likely winner in race 2.
Strike That is a lightly raced 7-year-old gelded son of I won't even pronounce the sire's name. But my point that I wanted to make is that this 7-year-old only has 13 lifetime starts. So certainly his ability to put races together has been somewhat limited, as Jeff indicated, based upon the workouts that you can see both at xbtv.com and read some of the Clockers reports. He is working very well, at least for a $16,000 claimer. Race number 3, we're back on the turf course sprinting. 6 furlongs of the distance. Fillies and mares. Allowance optional claiming types. Non-winners of 2 other than. Field of 5 in the Moray line favorite. Once again from the John Sadler barn. Second off the layoff is number 2, Unbridled Mary. 8-5 on the Moray line for Umberto Rispoli and his jockey agent Matt Nakatani, who celebrated birthday yesterday. Whopping ripe old age of 31 years old is Matt Nakatani. Is Matt going to celebrate a victory in race 3?
I hope we run second, because that's where I picked Matt. And happy belated birthday, Matt. Hats off to you. Unbridled Mary ran a great race off the layoff last time. Ran big off the bench. I actually picked the 1 Secrets Told.
The other Sadler.
If you look through this race and you do like I do, it's kind of like the puzzle we always think at. And, we always, the old saying, pace makes the race. To me, if Secrets Told breaks well, this horse is lone F, and I think has a big chance to take them gate to wire here. Third off the layoff. There is not much speed in here, and I think this horse, like I said, the rail isn't ideal, but as long as this horse breaks well, I think this horse just keeps going. And I think you're going to get every bit of 4-1 with Unbridled Mary and Pammy's Ready in here.
It's interesting. Secrets Told, you can see, is a 2 for 11 on the turf course in her career, but she's 2 for 2 at this 6 furlong distance. And it's also interesting to see how trainer John Sadler is managing these 2 runners in both races 2 and 3. Race 2, they're basically say, come and buy me if you want for 16,000. In Secrets Told case in race number 3, they claimed her for 80,000. They immediately protect her, hoping to perhaps get a very lucrative win here with a purse of $75,000. Race number 4 begins the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. That jackpot single ticket carryover and up to $225,000. That'll be all yours if you're the only winning ticket, plus what is ever wagered today. We kick things off going 1 mile on the main track for maiden claiming fillies and mares. $20,000 is the claiming tag. Only one 3-year-old in the field. This race is for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. But number 2, a little bit crazy, who's a 4-year-old from the Jonathan Wong barn, is 6-5 on the Moy Lane. I don't know, Jeff. 9 lifetime starts. Really has never been anywhere close to the winner's circle, but does drop down in class to maiden 20. You willing to take a short price here?
I went 3-2 in here. These are not my type of races.
Yeah, but Steve Knapp is our type of trainer.
Steve Knapp is on a roll. That horse went a mile for the first time last time. He's got Tiago up. They win it at a 31% clip. Knapp is on fire. I think it's 2-3, 3-2. But in a short field like this, going a mile at the bottom level, this is my least favorite type of race. We'll see. Obviously, Jonathan Wong is coming off a little bit of a rest, and at 6-5, that's a low price to take on that horse. But they should both be forwardly placed, and to me, it looks like a 2-horse race. But who knows? Anything could happen in these low-level races.
Race number 5 begins the 50-cent late pick file. The distance, once again, 1 mile, but this race is on the turf course. It's for maiden special weight, Calbred, fillies, and mares. We've got a field of 9. The Moy Line favorite is number 6, Candy on Top from the Carla Gaines barn. Carla Gaines runs 2 in here. Candy on Top is the 5-2 morning line favorite. There are 4 runners in this race 5 today, that are exiting the same race. It's the race back on February 12th. It was the very first race, and those 4 runners that exit that race are number 2, Elegance Code, number 5, She's Misbehaving, number 6, Candy on Top, and number 7, Tap It Rocks. All 4 runners exit this particular race. The one runner that I want you to keep your eye on is number 5, She's Misbehaving. She'll be back. You'll see she loses a lot of ground. She's going to be 3 wide throughout. I think she runs deceptively good at a big price. She might be a decent price today. So let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action back on February 12th.
And they're off. Candy on Top and Bold Choice are the first 2 out. Elegance Code has a little bit of speed, as does Smart Monique. 4 across the course. Then it's Tap It Rocks, She's Misbehaving, and Tis My Princess at the back of the field. They move into the first turn, and Candy on Top hugs the rail and has a narrow advantage as Elegance Code moves to engage in second. Bold Choice is just behind them third, followed by Smart Monique, 3 off the pace in fourth. Then Tap It Rock, She's Misbehaving, and Tis My Princess is 7 lengths off the lead. Juan Hernandez and Candy on Top controlling things up top. Leading the way by a length, stablemate Elegance Code is in second. They're followed by Bold Choice at the rail, and Smart Monique just outside of her with less than a half mile to travel. Then comes Tap It Rocks, Tis My Princess in the orange, just 4 lengths off the lead, and a 3 wide, She's Misbehaving. Candy on Top continues to show the way around the turn, leading by a length to Elegance Code in second, then Smart Monique 3 wide, inching up in the blue. Down at the rail, it's Bold Choice with Tap It Rocks in between. As the field turns for home, She's Misbehaving on the outside, and Tis My Princess top of the lane. Candy on Top, joined by Smart Monique on the outside, and Smart Monique is right up to Candy on Top at the 16th pole. They're head and head for the wire. Smart Monique now gets the lead in the late stages, and it's Smart Monique gradually pulling clear to win by a half length. Second to Candy.
Jeff, She's Misbehaving, who was in the maroon and gold silks, you can see there with the blinkers on, never really got close to the rail, was 3 wide throughout. Expectations were low. She was 40-1, but that was her first time routing. She's interesting to me at a little bit of a price at 4-1. You watch that replay, though, and although there's 4 runners coming out of that race that are running in today's race number 5, you're basically going to eliminate that race and look elsewhere.
She was my favorite of that group, but I just didn't like the race all that well. That being said, we're supposed to have strong opinions. I didn't really like the other ones running as well in this race too. So I had a
dilemma.
I had a lot of trouble in this race. If you could see what I wrote at the top, I would show you, but I don't think I can on TV. But so that being said,
it's a G-rated show.
It just says none of the above. I could go ahead and say that. But so I stayed away from that race. I went to the outside, Love Our Family for Eddie Truman. This horse has speed. in some of these maiden special weights, let's face it, this is the most talented group of maiden special weights on planet Earth. Horse got bet the last 2 times. First time Lasix, Joe Bravo jumps aboard. And this horse did have trouble last time. JJ Hernandez got it pinned down on the rail, had nowhere to go, and it looked like about mid-stretch he finally just kind of wrapped up. And
Called it a day.
Called it a day. So the running line looks worse than it is. So I think with the first time Lasix, and it's not like Eddie Truman horses. We love him. It's not like these horses get bet a lot. This horse is beaten favorite 2 times in a row and has ran a couple decent races that fit with this group on the turf going along. So it's 6-1. I'm willing to take a chance. And then the other horse I went with who came out of that race, or who came out of a different race, is Yvette Surprise, who's going to be a big price for Parabon, the 3 horse at 8-1. This horse was not bad late, going a mile on the turf in the debut, which is not easy. Never changed leads late, but did gallop out pretty well. And this jockey trainer combination does very well together. So at a look, I think this horse isn't going to get bet at all. Maybe could sneak up in there at a big price.
9-3 in race number 5. Let's take a look at race number 6. Commences the 50-cent late pick 4. 6 furlongs in the main track for 3-year-old filly. Starter optional claiming types. A field of 6. Number 2, Cornelia Fort from the John Sadler barn, once again, is the 2-1 morning line favorite. I know Hialeah Hottie on the bottom has disappointed you in the past. Who are you going with in race 6, Jeff?
So I am going to go with Cornelia Ford in here. That's one that visually looked very impressive. If you watch the replay of that race, drew the rail, which we don't always love going 6 furlongs, but the horse actually got in a good spot. Got a good trip. The inside opened up, but it's kind of the way she did it. She cleared off, and then about mid-stretch when she changed leads, she won quite easily. The horse who ran 3rd came back to win. Sadler always places him in a good spot. Hernandez stays aboard. I think this horse was very professional in just the second career start, and I look for this horse to improve here. Should be tough. I do pick Hialeah Hottie second, just from the outside draw, and is hit the board both times at Santa Anita, and I think can sit just off of the pace. Just isn't just a need to lead type.
Race number 7 is our feature race on today's card. It's the Angel Flight Stakes, $100,000 guaranteed for 3-year-old fillies. We're coming down the Hillside Turf Course. 1 scratch the 5, Pleasant Wave. Leaves us with a field of 5. Manhattan Jungle, fresh off a stakes win for trainer Michael McCarthy, is the 8-5 morning line favorite. Frankie Dettori out of town, so Juan Hernandez decides to ride Manhattan Jungle. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the favorite here, Jeff?
Definitely the one to beat, and but I'm going to try to beat her.
I like it.
I've always been a big fan of Ragtime Rose, the 3 for Jeff Mullins. This horse ran very well, sprinting a couple times, tried longer in some stakes races. And last time out, actually at a big price, ran against Manhattan Jungle and was way back early, dead last, made up a ton of ground to run second. I think this horse is much more tactical, can sit closer to the lead. I think she's an improving sort. Jeff Mullins, as we know, has been going great guns for the last, month or 2. And I look for this horse to run big today, and I know she likes the hill, and 7-2 is a square price for me.
Ragtime Rose is a half to Lane Way. You might recall Lane Way, another talented turf sprinter from the Richard Mandela barn. Certainly the pedigree is there for Ragtime Rose to produce sprinting. Also, the pedigree is there for number 4, Tina Ella. Take a look at her dam, Beholder. Beholder never tried the turf, but certainly Tina Ella last time out sprinting on the flat turf course took to the turf. We'll see if Tina Ella can take to the Hillside Turf Course. Race number 8 becomes one of the most popular wagers that Jeff and I play on a daily basis. It's the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4, linking our last 2 races here with the last 2 races at Golden Gate. And we kick things off in race number 8, sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for fillies and mares, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. We've got a field of 7. The morning line favorite is the Invader from Woodbine, number 4. Lady Wears the Ring. This is the 4th and final morning line favorite for the John Sadler barn. Lady Wears the Ring was purchased at auction for $450,000 by its current owners back in November. You can see she's run all of her races, all 5 career starts on the turf course, but she debuts today on the main track. When you spend that much money, you're expecting big things. So in order to help us solve the puzzle, let's take a look at a workout here for Lady Wears the Ring. It's a little bit in the dark, but Lady Wears the Ring is on the outside. And take a look at her workmate, Game Time, also from the John Sadler barn. Game Time is a very talented horse who broke his maiden in a maiden special weight race. And you can see Lady Wears the Ring is basically not even trying and outworking her workmate. To me, Jeff, that was all I needed to see in order to decide that I think she's going to like the main track today.
100%. That's the reason this is actually going to be my single here. As we said, Game Time broke his maiden, came back to run second in the Cecil B. DeMille Stakes. And
very nice horse.
Very nice horse. And that Lady Wears the Ring had her measured the entire way. Juan Hernandez takes the call here. Obviously, a horse hasn't ran since October with the rain. You think, maybe fitness might be a problem. One thing I do like that they actually had this horse up north, posted a 6 furlong work, and has had, that drill right there showed me the talent. This horse did it very easily, 48-4. I like the outside draw, and I like Hernandez showing up. We got to take our shot somewhere. I think Christie's Tiger is going to take some play on the inside. We know that trainer is red hot right now. And Professor's Pride has a lot of talent as well as we talked about Eddie Truman already, but that horse is coming off the layoff as well. I think it's just a good spot here to take a shot with a very talented Uncle Mo horse.
If you're worried about the brief layoff for Lady Wears the Ring, since we haven't seen her in the afternoon since October, you'll notice in her PPs that she actually broke her maiden in her debut effort, kind of signifying that she runs well fresh. Both Jeff and I are hoping that that's the case today. Before we take a look at race number 9, Jeff, a question for you. We've been talking a lot about handicapping, but nothing about wagering. So I know you like to step up to the window. It's one of the luxuries we have. Believe it or not, there are some racetracks where the employees are not allowed to wager. We'll revisit that topic for another day. Thankfully, we don't work at that racetrack. But here at Sandia, the employees are encouraged to wager because that's the product that the consumers are basically consuming. What type of wagers do you like to get involved with? Are you an old-fashioned win play? I'm talking strictly for your own now, not for the celebrities.
Yeah.
You strictly win play show player. You like to play the exotic bets. I know you've had some tough beats along the way in pick 5s, pick 6s. I have a feeling that's kind of the bets you migrate to.
I should be more of a win better, and I'm trying to. That was my New Year's resolution because.
For how many years?
This is about my 7th year in a row is the same New Year's resolution. But I'm now that I'm old and gray and, well, I don't have any hair. I'm not gray anymore. But I've had so many times because I'm a pick 5 player. Almost pick 6s I'll play on the mandatory days.
Sure.
I've tried to cut down a little bit more playing some doubles and some pick 3s. But for the most part, I play pick 5s, and 8 out of 10 times my single will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 10-1. So we know that you're going to have a lot of misses along the way,
But when you hit
big, right?
And you got to hit when your single wins.
Correct. Far too many times I've had an 8-1 single, 10-1 single win, and then I miss and I have nothing to win on it. Well, shame on me. What's the old saying? Fool me once, twice, whatever it is. Well, shame, all that. Fool me 6 times because I've done it a million times. But I strictly go for the pick 5. The problem with that is when you need to have some of those scores along the way for the bankroll. And when you get in those slumps, that could be trouble.
Plays with your mind.
Definitely. So, and so far this year, yes, I still play 90% pick 5s, but I have been betting the horses to win that I like
particularly
the best.
at that price.
Yeah.
If they're 5, 8, 10-1, you got to have some win money.
Correct. Unfortunately, about the last 5 prices I've liked have run second, and I've only bet to win. So
don't bet to place. Don't bet to place.
I don't.
Good.
So
good.
It's starting to change. The last couple of weeks are getting better. So you do as well. I do so much homework. So you got to trust in what you look at.
Yeah.
And
you want to be rewarded. And when you're not, you feel defeated and deflated.
Correct. Yeah. And the only thing that you've taught me, people teach me that I need to learn, I still pound in my head is, you might hit for 3 dimes, but you got nosed out for 20. And I'm not thinking I won 3. I'm thinking I just lost 17. And so that has been I pound that in my head every day. It's starting to work.
It's the psychology of betting that we talked with our seminar guest yesterday about Leo Vukmanovic. It's very difficult to turn the page when you suffer a bad beat, but as a horse player, you have to, because obviously there's more opportunities down the road, and it stings. There's no doubt about it, but you got to just keep pressing forward and hope that there's a blue skies ahead.
You know how you should listen to your parents, right? And you know my dad very well.
Yes.
And
your mom.
And my mom, right? My dad has always been, well, and he's serious. Well, at least you turn a profit, even if it's $50, you know. And I'm like, well, I just got beat for $8,000. Well, at least you won money. Stop complaining.
Don't feel bad, Jeff. Yesterday or last night in the Eddie Logan suite, we had some players who had the 30-1 shot in the first leg of the pick four at Los Alamitos. Unfortunately, they weren't able to close the sequence, and they certainly lost a lot of money by not having all the remaining three winners in the early pick four at Los Al.
As I did as well.
There you go. See? Misery loves company.
That's right.
Race number 9 closes out the day, but it doesn't close out the week. As I mentioned earlier, we do have live racing tomorrow, Monday. That's right. Special Monday racing with a 1:00 p.m. Pacific time first post and 8 races. But first things first, race number 9 commences the $5 Golden Hour Daily Double today. That links our last race with the last race at Golden Gate. And race 9 is for maiden claimers. $50,000 is the claiming tag. 1 mile on the turf course. There is one scratch. Scratch the 3. That does mean the also eligible number 13 does draw into the race. And the jockey now will be Kazushi Komuro. The morning line favorite is our boss's horse, number 6, 34 Coupe. That might be one of the reasons why John White made 34 Coupe the morning line favorite at 3-1. Adding blinkers, disappointed last time as the odds-on favorite. Is Aiden going to celebrate a victory here in race 9?
Well, no preference to the boss. I'm not picking that horse.
Sentiment is for suckers.
That's right. I'm going to win. I'm not playing favorites here. This is a very tough race, though. I don't know if you agree with me there.
Best betting race on the card.
It really is. I watched many replays. I watched workouts, everything I could try to get some kind of an angle here. Actually the angle I kind of used, I went to the 8. The key is unity. This horse at this level, sometimes when they've been knocking on the door at this $50,000 level, this is going to be like the 6th time, 7th time running at this level, you kind of give up. This horse has barely lost, ran second 3 times and ran third the last time out. This is no disrespect to Bill Spar, but Bill Spar, just retired and moved his horses over, and this horse went to Dean Pedersen. Dean's had some time to work with this horse. He's put at least 3 works in the morning.
Even for humans, sometimes a change of surroundings is beneficial.
Absolutely. And I think that that could prove the difference here. And they took the blinkers off the last time out. This horse ran a nice third. I just expect this horse to move up a little bit today. Barrios, I believe he was out of town, so he's kind of been the main man on this horse, but Vasquez takes over. That's fine with me. And I expect this horse to move up a little bit at 4-1.
8 and 10 to close it out. The pressure's on, Jeff. The celebrities coming out today are expecting a winner in the nightcap. Hopefully you can give them one, as well as giving the viewers of the seminar, hopefully more than just one in the last race as well. Thanks so much for your time and input today, Jeff. If anybody wants to reach out to you, you're on Twitter at HorseChappy. Obviously, if you want to have any sort of group event, make sure you contact Jeff. He'll take good care of you and certainly give you A-list treatment. Thanks so much for your time.
You got it, Jeff. Man. Appreciate it.
Thanks to all of you for watching. 2 other quick reminders, as Frank Miramati mentioned during the scratches. Keep in mind our sister track up north, Golden Gate, has a mandatory 20-cent golden pick 6 payout. That carryover is $112,000 up at Golden Gate. Mandatory payout today up north where the Bay comes to play. And as you can see on the screen, Coast to Coast pick 5 today with a low 15% take on $1 minimum begins with Gulfstream Park race number 8 in about 35 minutes at 1:07 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you get involved with that. The payout yesterday was over $20,000 for a $1 wager. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Have fun and good luck here at the Great Race Place.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast and the turf is firm. The rail on the turf at 0 feet. Here are the changes. The first starts the early pick 5, number 7, Don Corleone, 2 pounds over. In the second, start of the early pick 4, no changes. No changes in the third. The fourth begins the Rainbow 6 with 225,000 in the jackpot carryover. In race 5, number 3, Yvette Surprise, 2 pounds over, and 4, Ashley Sandcastle, 3 pounds over. Late pick 5 begins with race 5. No changes in the sixth. The seventh is the Angels Flight Stakes. Scratch number 5, Pleasant Wave. Race 7, scratch number 5. Eighth race starts the Golden Hour pick 4. No changes. And in the ninth, scratch number 3, Horning. Overweight 7, Deep River +2, 9, Anticipated +3. And note that number 13, Don't Test Your Luck, draws in and will be ridden by Kazushi Kimura. Those are the changes on today's card. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. Post time for the first is in 25 minutes at 1 p.m. Please be advised that we do have Monday racing tomorrow. It's a special card. We're giving away free digital daily racing form past performances. You can get them online at santanita.com. Free admission and parking, free program available. $2 hot